list of words that I've written down from Sasha's presentation. What I heard her say. I heard her use the word empowerment. I heard her use the word language. I heard her use the word access. I heard her use the word, well, I didn't hear her use the word responsibility, but I heard that inferred in her message. I heard the word vision and challenges and voice and chances and welcoming and culture. That's what I heard. And then I want to tell you a little bit about how I got into this work in education and in partnership. When I was born, it was in Oakland, across the bridge. I went to all Oakland schools. There are 7 of us in my family, 3 of which were in elementary and then middle and high with me, and then everybody else came later. And my experience in education was much different than my twin sisters and my older brother, who was 1 year older. My experience was one of, I don't remember any teacher I ever had. I only remember my principals. I don't remember ever being loved or cared for in school. I only remember my principals. I don't remember anyone saying kind things to me in school. I only remember hearing that I was bad and feeling that I was bad. I don't remember learning how to read because I could not read in the 5th grade. I don't remember learning anything in elementary, and I'm sorry. I tend to get a little emotional about it. I worked for AT&T for 15 years before I decided to quit and become a teacher. That journey was one of, I didn't go to college right out of high school. I was like, school is not for me. I clearly flunked every single grade and they passed me along because I was a bit of a hellion. Excuse my French. And so getting me out of school was easier than trying to educate me or figure out what was happening. So I got the job at AT&T. I worked there for several years. The manager said, you should get a degree. I said, nah, I'm good. I'm not really good at school. I kind of suck at that, but I'm very smart. I'm smart naturally. She was like, no, you're going to go to college. And I was like, okay, eventually I did that. I got my master's degree, and I realized there was a teacher in high school named Ms. Gaylord, if you're out there, I still love you, who told me in a very sarcastic, we really don't like you, wish you would graduate already. Boys, if you get a master's degree, you could be a teacher. And that's exactly what I did. I graduated on Saturday, and I walked in on Monday, and I quit. Didn't have an idea how to be a teacher or anything. I quit. Because I knew in my heart that somebody in education like me, some kid, some parent like my mom, didn't have access, didn't understand the language, didn't know how to navigate, couldn't win, and didn't have some of the chances that I had to succeed after all of that. And so being in partnership with Plan for me is not just about parent engagement. It is about empowerment. It is about social justice. It is about leading in a way that says to our families, you are welcome. And I am African American, and I understand why parents won't come. Even though their principal is African American, I understand why they won't come, because I remember a conversation with a principal when I was in 4th grade where my mom said, I don't know what to do either. And she left the school and she told them, do not call me again. If you need to send her home, she can walk. And that wasn't because she didn't love me, she loved me. When I got home, she would be like, Sabrina, I'll help you. And she would try. My mom was skipped 2 grades in elementary. She was a genius. She got accepted to Cal Berkeley. And at some point lost her path. So no, she didn't graduate from college. I'm the first in my family to graduate from college. But something happened where she felt closed off from school. Something happened where she couldn't advocate for me in a way that probably would have changed outcomes for me. I didn't get designated ADHD until high school. By that time, I was multiple years below grade level. I was reading at a 1st grade level in the 9th grade. Access, language, welcoming, empowerment. And then I become a teacher, and I'm teaching in 6th grade. I've been teaching for 5 years, and I say to myself, what happens after me? What happens when we don't have teachers who understand the culture and the climate and the day and the history and the richness and what our kids walk into our schools with, the knowledge that they already have, what they carry with them even if they can't read, what struggles they carry, the perseverance, right? The possibilities that are ahead of them. What happens after me as a teacher who's teaching my kids to advocate for themselves? We're going downtown, we're filling out petitions, we're saying we want a higher minimum wage for our fathers and our mothers, and we're talking about this. And we're saying to ourselves, we need more resources for African American and Latino families. We're saying to ourselves in our classroom, what do we need to do? Ms. Moore, how do we make this happen? We're calling these kids, my students, magical. And then the question came, what happens after me? And I said to myself, that means I need to become an admin. Heartbreaking to leave the classroom because I'm one heck of a teacher, I will say. But more kids need, more families need to know we are the power. Like, by myself, I could do nothing. I'm in my classroom, me and my 30 kids, right? But together we can do everything. We can move mountains. We can give parents access. We can give kids who have learning disabilities who are just considered bad or non-productive or unengaged or, right, an opportunity. I guarantee you if I could have been a reader, I would have been a little different. It's a bit frustrating to be in the 5th grade and not be able to read and still be trying to fool everybody. I want to name that. I'm just saying. So when I became an admin, I said to myself, every one of my kids will read. Because that's what I said to myself as a teacher. Every one of my parents will read. And I know reading probably is like, well, just reading? Yes, reading. And you will get to read, and you will have access. And you will know how to fight. And how to say to yourself, I don't understand. Stop, explain it. Because that is what it is. Access is not about, it's not an individual thing, it's a family thing. I like to believe in my school I'm creating a family, that we move as a beast together. And as we consider how important it is to be in partnership with organizations that will hear me and my crazy ideas. I know Miss Monica, Miss Asha will come to me and I'll be like, now I want to have an engagement event that's doing this. And they just be like, all right, Miss Moore, roll with it. I mean, they're awesome. I will tell you, I don't sleep. ADHD is a real thing and you don't grow out of it. And they are awesome. Some of the things that we've been able to do this year that to me have been just miracle work, right? It starts small and you build and you build and you build. And I know for a fact, next year we will have every African American family involved and engaged. I know for a fact. I'm praying it, I'm moving that way, I'm so dedicated to that. Anyway. Okay. So we've done this year, we've had some early literacy and early math classes, which is so an opportunity. So students obviously learn foundational reading. You go into kindergarten, you learn the sounds, you learn all these pieces, you learn sight words. Well, what if my mom doesn't know that I should learn the sight words at home? Teacher keeps sending home homework. I don't know what that is. It's a big old packet. Student seems to know. Go ahead and finish that. But what if parents got to come to school and learn what their students are learning and understand what a sight word was and how important it is that your child learn a certain number of words in order to access a text, and that 60% of all texts are made of sight words. That little bit of information is something that changes the game. I'm a parent. I'm involved in my child's learning. It's not you go home and teach your child to read. It's not that. It's that you're involved with us and we're in partnership in teaching. And our babies are learning together. And when they come, I should be able to say, did you practice with your mom last night? Let me see. What's this word? Oh, okay, stop, get that. And I should be able to do that in partnership, together. It's also foundational math. Like, how often do we consider that maybe mom at home, one, it's not translated into Spanish. I don't know what the directions are. My child is saying, she didn't tell me how to do that. She didn't teach me that. I know because I used to say that. But if I came to school, and if the school was there and the school taught me exactly what it is that will be going home every night, I can say, no, I don't even need the workbook. Go get a piece of paper. We're going to do some math. We're going to write some math facts down. 1 plus 1, 1 plus 4, 1 times, right? Like create opportunities, give access. And Plan is doing that. I mean, we are doing that. We are doing that. We've done, of course, the cultural celebration. So Sasha didn't give it enough credit. Okay. I just want to name that our parents, like, and Sasha, planned a whole celebration for the teachers. And if you've ever been a teacher or an educator in any way, sometimes you're not valued. But to have your parents get together and like practice a dance and write down about their cultures and things that they want you to know about who they are and who their babies are, and then to come into a room that was very hot and bring food that are native to them and explain it, and to have teachers just be able to sit and experience that and to learn, right? So now parents are teaching us. And I say teachers, I'm a teacher. I'm always going to be a teacher, so I'm considering myself in that as well. But to be able to learn from families, the things that are important. Culture is important. Growing up in Oakland, people assume African Americans don't have a culture. Well, I have a clear culture. And there's a language barrier. Let me just say, I didn't always speak this way. I want to name that. And so there was an access issue, because what my mom would say wasn't be translated in a way in which she would be received. So next year, when African Americans, right, like present and are able to share their culture and what their heritage is and how they're connected, it will be the same thing. Like teachers will be enriched by the experience of having parents say, we like this and we don't like that, and stop sitting at home. But that's the empowerment, to be able to name. None of that made sense to us in our whole entire house. And to have a principal and a teacher and an admin, like people saying, you're right. Why are we sitting at home? And I think, well, I'm going to say one more thing and then I'm going to give the mic back, because, I love to talk. I'm going to talk about the greatest lesson learned this year with Plan and parent advocacy and partnership. And I think that it is, for me as an admin, I'm not going to speak as a teacher, I'm going to speak as an admin. It was that, I think my first year in administration, parents were complaining, and it felt like complaining. And this is not right, and this is not, and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm not doing anything right. And the reality is, it wasn't complaining. It was, I want to be heard. Sasha spoke about voice. It was, I want to be heard. And if we don't help parents be able to communicate those things in a way that will be heard and valued and addressed, then we keep hearing this, right? We keep hearing this, and we don't hear our students' need, our families' need. We are required. We can't move. We want support. We don't hear those things. So in partnership, we are creating systems. And the only way you break systemic oppression is to create systems that over or bridge, right? Like, you break a system by creating another system, not by talking about the fact that the system exists. So we're saying that systemic oppression is real and racism is real, and that all of these bridges that people are putting in place are not really bridging us over, but kind of keeping us at. Then we create new systems and new ways in which we're considering the culture and considering the people and considering who's coming in, considering our kids and considering who's leading, to break old systems. And together in partnership, the work that we are doing is breaking old systems. Today, my mom could walk into Madison and she can say, I don't know what's happening with Sabrina. At home, she doesn't act like this and be heard. Because I know I heard a teacher say, yes, she does. She don't just do that here. But guess what? I did just do it there. Because my mama wasn't going to have it. And I say that to say, listen to the parents. Listen to the students. Give voice. Give access. Give empowerment.